I'm Dr. Sarah Coulter. I'm a senior geologist with Galantis Gold Corporation. I studied geography and geology at the University of St Andrews, and then I took up a NERC-funded place on a master's course doing quaternary science at Royal Holloway, University of London. In 2003, I started my PhD in technology in what is now the School of Natural and Built Environment, and I graduated from Queen's in 2007. I'm a Fellow of the Geological Society of London. I am an active member and a past chair of the Northern Ireland Regional Group of the Geological Society. I've just recently become a professional member of the Institute of Materials, Minerals and Mining.
Hi, I'm Fiona McCandless. I'm Chief Planner and Deputy Secretary within the Department for Infrastructure. I'm a member of the Royal Town Planning Institute and past chair of the RTPI in Northern Ireland, and I still continue to actively support both professional planning institutes and really appreciate the role that they have in encouraging women within the planning profession. I've worked as a professional planner for over 25 years since I graduated from Queen's with a BSc in Environmental Planning and then went on to do a postgraduate diploma in Town and Country Planning.
I'm Dr. Jenny McKinley. I'm a reader here in Queen's University Belfast and in the School of Natural and Built Environment. I'm also the Director of Research for the Environmental Change and Resilience Cluster and Director for the Centre for GIS and Geomatics. I'm also very proud to be the President of the International Association of Mathematical Geoscientists, or IAMG, the second female president in 50 years. So that is, for me, that is really quite an achievement that I'm very proud of.
My name is Wendy Blundell and I am the Director of UK Regions working for the Institution of Civil Engineers. I graduated from Queen's University in 1988 with a Master's in Engineering, and my undergraduate course was Civil Engineering. I am professionally qualified as a civil engineer and a structural engineer, and I was honoured in 2013 with an OBE for my services to the construction industry and engineering, and more recently in 2017 Ulster University awarded me an honorary doctorate for services to engineering and promoting women in science and engineering.
My name is Olivia Morris-Soper and I graduated from Queen's University with a BA Honours degree in Archaeology in 2016. More recently, I graduated from Cambridge University in 2017 with a Master's in Medieval Archaeology, and I was studying my MPhil at Jesus College. In terms of career, I currently work at Stonehenge. I'm a historic property steward, and I'm working for English Heritage. And it's pretty great. I get to go inside the stones when nobody else does, so it's kind of an archaeologist's dream. And I'm currently working towards a PhD in History and Archaeology.
My name is Jodie Jackson, and in 2016 I graduated with a first class honours degree in Archaeology, Paleoecology and Geography, and in 2017 I started my master's degree with the University of Leicester as a distance learner, and I'm studying Archaeology and Heritage.
My name's Alice Charles. My title is Head of Urban Development and Services at the World Economic Forum, and I'm also an external board member of NAMA, the National Asset Management Agency in Ireland. I guess in terms of professional affiliations, I'm a member of the Royal Town Planning Institute. I'm also a member of the Irish Planning Institute.
My career started at Queen's University and I graduated with a BSc Honours and First Class Honours in Architecture and Top Student Award. I also made history by becoming the first person to receive the John Truesdale Award in second year, which had previously been given to postgraduates. With this instilled confidence, I moved to the Macintosh School in Glasgow and was fortunate to make history there again by being awarded the City of Glasgow and the Scottish Medals for Architecture, as well as the Royal Scottish Academy's Architecture Prize and Merchant's House Bursary. I became the youngest tutor at the Macintosh School whilst working, and I returned to Northern Ireland in 2008, where I began tutoring at Queen's University and was a director at Manor Architects.
When I first graduated from Queen's, there were few job opportunities in the north, and when I was offered a job working in Roscommon County Council, shortly after graduation I was delighted to accept it, even without the benefit of knowing much about Roscommon County Council. But I suppose it was an important decision for me at the time. It was the start of my planning career, but it also reflected the approach that I've had throughout my career. That's of being open to opportunities when they come along to you. I always remember my first day working in Roscommon and being introduced to the staff in a very austere old courthouse building, and couldn't understand at the time why all the female members of staff were in the ground floor and the male members of staff seemed to be the dominant on the first floor. And then I found out that it was because all of the staff on the first floor were technical members of staff. So you had your roads engineers, water engineers, planners. And of course, at that stage, I was surprised to find out that I was the only female technical member of staff. I have to say, I thought it was quite uncomfortable and unusual at the time. I'm working in a rural authority at that stage. My first post was really great. It gave me a lot of responsibility, a large cog and a small wheel. But as I reflect back in the early days of my career as the only female technical member of staff, I'm very thankful to the other women who have led the way before me and made it much easier for others to follow.
Architecture is a challenging profession for anyone to be in, and as a woman I have encountered sexism, been ignored, been asked to make the tea. However, my biggest challenges have been internal ones, and I think as women we do that to ourselves. I am always going and trying to be the best that I can be, seeing how far I can take it, and for me that has been my biggest challenge, is that kind of wrangling with yourself. Is always the hardest person to please is always yourself, and that has been my biggest challenge, but probably also why I have gotten as far as I have.
I'm actually a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 2. I started out my profession as a teacher, so I'm a trained teacher, and I did take a career break to have my children. I worked for the Open University, and in talking to some people, they encouraged me to come back into academia. So I did my PhD when I was in my late 30s and have stayed in academia since then. So the challenges I said I face are probably time-wise, that I had a lot of other competing pressures of time which really you cannot ignore, such as children, and that would probably be the main thing. When I did get a full day at work, I sort of thought, this is amazing. How much can you get done when you actually have a full day at work? But I wouldn't change anything. I think everybody has everybody's path is individual, and I think that people, whatever path in terms of being a woman, there's always challenges. Sometimes I think that women maybe have to work harder to reach. I know that in every promotion that I've gone for, I felt I've had to really tick all the boxes rather than maybe ticking a sufficient number of boxes.
I guess when I went to Queen's in the very first instance, it was very male dominated, the course that we did. Definitely when I went into my career in London, it was extremely male dominated. I remember very well my second day of my job, where my mentor and line manager took me out for lunch and explained the culture of sexual harassment against young women in the sector and how to respond. So, you know, I was faced with that challenge very early on, within a few weeks of starting my job, and I guess you know, being told helped me to be able to stand up for myself, and made it be known that I would not accept such behaviour, even though this person was extremely senior in the organisation. So that's definitely been a challenge. I think now the type of challenge that I face as a woman is I'm a mother, so you know, trying to ensure that you work, at the same time give your child you know, appropriate time, bonding, is very difficult, particularly as I work in an international organisation which requires me to travel all over the world. So I think you have to strike the balance, and there you need help. You need to have, you need to find the right type of childcare that's going to work for you, and I think you need to be very honest with your employer about the challenges you face in that regard.
I think everybody would have faced challenges in their career at some stage. Probably the time that I realised that it was a bit of a challenge was as a young graduate working on construction sites. At that stage, a female working on construction sites was quite rare, so it was overcoming that, getting the team to understand that I was a civil engineer. I had the ability to do my job and to view me hopefully as a professional. Another challenge was as a young mum, trying to juggle my career with 3 young children. A lot of that was to do with balancing priorities, trying to make endless lists of what are things I had to do, some frustration, and also trying to work with my employer to get as much flexibility as I can, realising I was still highly motivated, but also was trying to bring up a young family.
In terms of my career, I think everyone has hurdles they have to get over. But as a young woman, especially in academia, there are quite a few challenges you just have to face head on. Mainly, there are a lot of people in the field that have been in the field for a long time with incredible ideas and an incredible history of their professional qualifications and everything. And it can be quite hard to almost go up against them with your ideas and your notions. But the most important thing is to do so and to have confidence in yourself as an individual and as a professional. And it can be easy that quite often people won't respect you or value you as much as they should. It's just the way life is sometimes. But as long as you have confidence in yourself, you can push through that and you can get out the other side.
Well, I have some really strong female role models in my own family, my mother and my sisters. So growing up, the fact that I was a girl was never something that ever stood in my way. They were always there to act as a strong role model for me. And during my time at Queen's, I worked in the volunteer department and very closely with the enterprise department over in the Students' Union. So the ladies over there were really great mentors for me. They were great role models because the work they're doing is really inspirational, and it was a fantastic opportunity for any female student to be involved with them.
My education at Queen's has given me that very strong foundation, confidence and breadth of skills that I have needed to sustain not only my planning career and profession, but also my career as a senior civil servant. And throughout my past 25 years, I've been really, really lucky to be part of a healthy family and part of a healthy workforce. And I genuinely wouldn't have been able to do that without the support of my husband and my children and my family, especially my 2 sisters, Jacqueline and Siobhan.
And one of my mentors, I should just add, is actually the former female president, Professor Vera Pawlowski-Glan. She's actually a mathematician who started to work in geoscience. And she's my mentor because she put me forward for it. And when I said, I don't know whether I could actually take this on, would I actually have the credibility? She said, we all grow into having credibility, which I thought was very realistic, rather than give me a platitude, of course you are.
My role models and mentors, like most people, have been my parents. I was very fortunate, and I'm very fortunate to still have my father, to have my parents who instilled in me confidence and a belief that I could do whatever I set my mind to. And I am a great advocate and believer that the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that shapes the world. For me, it has certainly shaped my world. And when you step into the world with a confidence and a belief in yourself, then nothing else can really challenge you, because above all else, you will have that faith and belief in yourself. And that for me has been the one and the most important thing that my parents instilled in me.
In terms of my female mentors, I was really lucky at Queen's to have a great base of people who were really supportive throughout my entire time there, particularly Laura Bazell. She pushed me to go to Cambridge for my Masters, which I hadn't even considered, and I've graduated now, so she was completely right, and she helped me through the whole process to make me realise that I can do whatever I want to do, and I'm good enough to do whatever I want to do. And Eileen Murphy, massive thanks to her for showing me that it is actually really hard sometimes to have a career and a family life and a social life and to have it all fit in. She helped me realise that that is possible. Quite often for young women, we're told that it's either family life or it's your career or something's got to give, but it doesn't. You can have it all. As long as you've got supportive people around you and are flexible, then there's nothing stopping you from doing exactly what you want to do.
Throughout my career, I've had many mentors and role models, maybe not specifically female actually, but that's, these people have really given me the inspiration to go as far as I can. They've taught me how to take risks, to think outside the box, how to be a good manager and then on to a leader, how to work with a team. I just think it's all about, they've taught me how once you've got the ability, you need the motivation, and then a lot of it's down then for success is on your attitude and having a positive attitude, and that's what I feel that the mentors have given me, that sort of those key skills throughout the last few years.
The school I studied in at Queen's had a number of high-profile, internationally recognised experts who were always willing to impart their expertise and their knowledge. From this, I quickly learnt the importance of good communication and collaborations. People learn from one another and can help to inspire each other. With this in mind, I've always been very open to hosting mind visits from academic institutions and have supervised a couple of master's projects in exploration geology.
Queen's University has always been a sacred place for me, and it remains that way, and certainly being awarded the Graduate of the Year in 2017 was overwhelming and still remains that way. Queen's has a worldwide reputation, and it's the place that I had always dreamed of going, and it is the place that has made my dreams come true and has still making my dreams come true. And the foundations that Queen's gave me have really allowed me to build what I have and to become the person that I have become.
I can honestly say we had a fantastic time at university in the 1980s. It was a difficult time in Belfast, but that didn't seem to hamper our ability to have good fun and work as a team with the year group. We were a very large year group. We were over 100 students. There was a lot of project work, a lot of teamwork, and I suppose what it taught me was that we've all got different skills and abilities, and actually the success of a team is trying to pull out those skills and work and to get the best outcome. So time at Queen's was good, great friendships, friends that I still bump into in my professional career now 30 years later.
There's so many different opportunities for people to get involved in, and thankfully I never felt that as a woman this wasn't something that I could put myself forward for. So I was involved with the Enactus Society for 3 years, along with other societies including the Archaeology Society. And I also took part in a number of different programmes including Inspiring Leaders and Innovate Her. These experiences were fantastic for me because they allowed me to understand different aspects of the real world and prepared me for life after graduation. So I learned about dedicating your time to something that you're really passionate about. I learned about being a good leader in the workplace, and I also learned lots of different business skills, so different things like marketing and financing and presentation skills.
In terms of my experiences at Queen's and what it taught me about life and the universe and everything, the archaeological department at Queen's was so warm and so friendly, and cliche as it sounds, almost like a family, that it meant that we were all able to grow and to become who we are without any fear of judgment or fear of being wrong. We could say what we wanted to say, and it didn't matter if we made a mistake, who cares? That's how the world works, and that's how we change as people. So I really appreciate all of the support from all of the staff and the continued support even after I left Queen's. And it made me realise that that's how I want to live my life, and that's what I want to work in, and that kind of environment is what I should be expecting.